radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. It's a dig. And it is. The all-time home run list.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. He's got something. 50. He's got it. 40. He's got it. 20. 10. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown. Right. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
Sports Radio. It's the greatest sports talk show host in the business. The dynamic duo. Your hosts, John Intel and Daniel Mercado.
What's going on, everybody? It is January 13th, 2021. You're here listening on HamiltonRadio.net. This is the greatest sports talk show in the biz. It is My Sports Radio with your boys, John Intel and Danny Mercado. Danny, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, Johnny? I'm having another phenomenal day. It is another hump day that we get to lighten up everybody's day with.
Absolutely. Listen, we have a ton
Can you say that again?
ton
Ton?
of hot content here today in the sports world. We're
Big
going to
talk.
be all over today. We have 8 teams left in the NFL, a ton of big name QBs. We have a big trade in Major League Baseball with the amazing Mets.
Yeah.
We have a little controversy shaken up in the New York Yankees organization.
Los Yankees.
We have the NHL underway,
Let's go. Dropping puck tonight, baby.
but I'm not going to start there, though.
Oh, no, we can't. We got to save the best for last.
I am going to start in the NBA with this rotting cesspool of a person who I said 6 months ago, and I'll tell you right now, I am on fire, bro. I said 6 months ago,
Tell them why you mad, John.
Kyrie Irving is the most hated man in the NBA, and today,
Villain.
that is no more clear than ever before. This guy talked himself out of Cleveland in the best situation you could have ever been in your life.
100%.
The news didn't care about you. The media didn't care about you. It was all LeBron James, right? No, I want to lead my own team. I like to wipe my own ass. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, no problem,
Now
Kyrie.
look at you. Look at you.
So here we go. Now you're going to go to Boston, one of the greatest organizations in the NBA today,
Preach.
and you talk your way out of Boston somehow. No problem. You're going to hold them hostage. No big deal. You're going to call your buddy up, the second public enemy in the NBA. Well, now probably third behind their boy Harden. But you call Kevin Durant and say, you know what?
I wouldn't
dude?
even put Harden that far behind him.
That's what I mean. Probably number 2, number 3, whatever. But then you call Harden. Then you call Durant. You say, you know what, Durant? You know what? I want to go someplace where we control the narrative. We get the coach we endorse. We don't have to talk to the media because they're below us. They're pawns.
Smoke.
And that is verbatim what that clown said. Oh, by the way, Kevin, we're going to go here and market ourselves so well in Brooklyn. We don't want to go to New York. We don't want to play for Dolan. Fine. You go to Brooklyn. They mortgage their future for you.
To not show up to the game?
Now,
Are you kidding me?
Now you're going to parties with no mask on. You're blowing candles out on the cake
He's blowing smoke is what he's blowing.
during a COVID protocol, right? And
Horrible example.
You jeopardize everybody else after getting your head coach that you wanted. Now you don't want to play and you make $35 million a year.
It's an embarrassment.
Do me a favor, bro. Get out of here already. Get out. And I said it before. I'm not the guy who says shut up and dribble, right?
No, not at all. I don't want him to shut up or dribble. Nobody wants him to shut up and dribble. But you know what? If you're not going to play, then go retire. Because if you're going to use your platform, whatever it is, whether it's social injustice or just being against the Dems or the Republicans, whatever your political goal is to use your platform, use it. Go to the game, play ball, show the fans that you're something to follow. Be a leader. Don't hide in the shadows. What are you doing? You're not bringing any light to the injustices or whatever your plight is. You're not going to bring light to it by not playing. Play. Be the guy. Go there and be a leader. Lead by example. And then if you need to post something, now people are watching. You know what? Kyrie's out there. His idea is so-and-so. Have a commercial before, after, halftime, maybe to show what your goal is, to show what you're trying to reach and the people you're trying to reach. But this is a waste of a platform. And a waste of the fans' time, frankly, and the people's time, and your organization's time. You know, a lot of people say because it's a team sport that he should be out there just for his teammates. But they're saying his teammates have his back. That's great. They're teammates. You should become one of them. I mean, I'm almost with Stephen A. Smith. You know what? If you're not going to play or use your platform properly to make your points, bring your points across to the American people, then you know what? Then retire. Retire.
Out.
See ya.
I'm so done with this clown, but I've been done with him, bro. Every time something doesn't go his way, he cries. And you know what, bro? It is fitting that a grown man cries in 2020. It's fitting that you cry. But, dude, you are so soft. You make Charmin look hard, and I don't want to use it to wipe my ass. I'd rather use you because that's how soft you look right now.
Bro, that's how the NBA's been. It's just a segue from how the rest of the NBA has been, getting soft.
It is so ridiculous, bro. Every single time something doesn't go his way,
it's crybaby.
It's all about pointing the finger. It's all about what can I do to divert from what's going on in front of me. You want to talk about, exactly what DM was saying. You want to talk about your social injustices? Bro, this is where I was at when it was Colin Kaepernick. You want to talk about it, dude? Whatever you want to do, dog. Whatever you want to do. You know what? Regardless of what everyone's saying, it's your right to talk about whatever sort of cacas you want to talk about in this world. But let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something, brother. Once you start taking advantage of the hard-earned money that other people are paying to watch you do and to take away from their distractions, whatever you're fighting for is done. It's out the window. It's gone. Null and void.
You've made it a moot point.
See you later.
Facts.
Because I don't care about your point anymore. Because once you start putting yourself above everybody else, which is what you do best. What you do best is put yourself in front of everybody else. So all these Brooklyn Nets fans that sat there in the offseason and said, wow, dude, Kyrie and Kevin chose us. They chose us. No, dude, no. They chose your money. Don't get it twisted.
Facts.
They only chose your money. They don't care about anything else except your money. Because Kyrie had no problem putting that pen in his fingers, which apparently worked perfectly fine, like his mouth, signed that piece of paper, and then said, hey, screw you now. I'll do what I want.
Yep.
Nah, bro, screw you. I'm done with it. I'm not even a Brooklyn Nets fan, and this guy really chaps my ass, Lloyd.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't stand it. I don't want, and I didn't want to make this like the political thing and talk about negative stuff. But you know what? Like, I wanted to come out here and talk about my Knicks and the little bit of problems they're having, how everybody's taking. But you know what? You're stealing the stage with nothing. You're distracting people. You're making it divisive in the game for your team to put bad news in the media. And I know. No publicity is bad publicity. People still clicking on your team. But you know what? If you're not out there doing your thing to help your team win and put them in the right light, not looking at them because, hey, this guy's not playing, and that's why people are watching the game. People click on the game. So what? They're going to shut off the game within 2 minutes when they see you're not there? You're the star of the team, dude. Act like it.
But this is why, though, bro. Is this not the reason why people say shut up and dribble? Is this not the reason why? Because, dude, you
I
can't.
think there's other reasons for that, but you know what?
But in this particular
and,
case.
and I don't. And we're not saying there's any excuse to say shut up and dribble. Go there, dribble. Talk to us about what you want us to believe in. But if you don't talk to us about it, if you don't use your platform properly, then what are you doing? You're doing a disservice to whatever goal you're trying to reach.
But in this particular case, aren't you listening to him and saying, bro, just shut up and dribble? If this puts, for me, in this particular time, whenever he went.
I'd never say that.
For me, during the off season, when everything was going on, he said, listen, I'd rather be there doing this. I said, bro, rock on. Do you.
But he's not.
You're injured. Do you, right? This particular case, he signs. That's my point. That's my point. My point is finally, for the first time, you can actually dribble and play the game. You're not even doing that.
Sick.
I'm so done with this clown, bro.
Sick.
It just drives me crazy, bro. You want people who watch the sport, you want them to digest. You want them to understand where you're coming from. You want them to listen to it and say, I want to listen. I can relate to this guy. Let me understand. The way people understand is by falling in love with you on the court and having them try to relate to you off the court.
Right.
Okay? If they don't see you on the court, they're not going to listen to you, bro, off the court.
That's right. Out of sight, out of mind.
So if you're not dribbling that ball and you're not making highlights and you're not with your teammates hitting buzzer beaters and being with the guys and doing your thing, then you think you could go on a podium and say, well, I stand for this.
And just call people names.
Okay,
people
bro.
Peons.
Yeah.
The people that are going to send the message that you want out to the public. You're going to call us peons? You must be out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're going to get no support.
Okay, bro. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to listen to you. Yeah. And while you're talking, I'm going to be laughing in your face of how dumb you sound for however long of a sound bite you're going to give, which these days it's very minimal because you have your own podcast or whatever you call it. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I gave you 10 minutes more than I wanted to ever give you in my entire life. And that's the last time I'm ever talking about you until the day you retire. So take that and shove it. We move on. I digress.
Move on.
Bro, big news in
Huge.
the NFL. Let's start with the NFL right now, dude,
Let's do it.
because we have crazy matchups. I'm going to
Bananas.
read you the matchups right now, brother. Tell me how pumped up you are. Mahomes, Mayfield.
Oh, amazing.
Allen
Amazing.
Jackson.
That's going to be a matchup to watch.
Breeze Brady.
Battle of the ages.
Combined age 250. Rodgers Goff. Bro, the NFL right now, they could not have staged this better for what's going to go on. Because let me tell you, dude,
I'm excited.
out of the AFC, you're going to get Mahomes Jackson, Mahomes Allen, Mayfield Jackson, Mayfield Allen. Bro, you can't go wrong with any of these matchups going
Absolutely
into the
not.
conference finals, right?
And how great did the Browns look?
They looked with no coach,
With
no
no
nothing.
coach, no nothing. No OC, no DC.
How about in the NFC? It doesn't matter. All we know is we need Rodgers to beat the Rams, right?
Yep.
I don't care about Goff going in, but dude, could you imagine Brady Rodgers or Breeze Rodgers? Come on, dog.
That'd be sick, bro.
Come on,
That'd
dog.
be sick. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what the results are.
All right, so who do you think now?
All
The
right.
Browns look good. Mahomes versus Mayfield. Kansas City against the Browns. Who do you got, bro? Tell me.
I got Kansas City.
You're still going with it.
I'm still going to go with Kansas City, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? Really quick, I think Kansas City is an all-around better team. I think they have Tyrann Mathieu playing in the as the D-back, controlling that backfield there and on the defense, and I think they're going to try to make – if they can control their run game, they're going to make them one-dimensional. And if to win the game, they're going to have to make Baker Mayfield beat them with his arm. Because if they let these Browns, these two monster running backs, these two Mike Tyson punch-you-in-the-mouth running backs run all over the field, they're going to lose this game, and they're going to lose control of the clock. And I think that's where the key needs to be. One thing I love about Kansas City is that they can control the clock and still pass the ball.
Sure.
They don't have to run the ball the whole time. We've seen Mahomes throw 3 interceptions and have a dismal running game, and he still takes over.
Yep.
They're like, all right, stop messing around. Let's just take over the game. And that's it. But if they allow these 2 running backs to control the clock and the Browns can keep this a close game, I think the Browns can break it wide open. So the key is going to be controlling and the dink and dunk passes for Kansas City. They're going to be running a lot of screens.
Crazy. By the way,
amazing.
By the way, breaking news right now, Harden to the Nets.
Breaking news, Harden to the Nets. See ya, Kyrie.
Wow.
You should have thought better, buddy.
Wow.
Tell your story walking, bud.
Oh, my goodness.
Congratulations to the Nets for stepping up to the plate.
Woo. Is this...
Kyrie, you're on notice.
It's not on ESPN.com. I got a couple of reports. I'm looking.
Folks, let's just get this verified.
Wow.
And again, if you guys got hot comments, hot takes, we want to hear them. 609-807-2492.
Wow.
Give us a call.
That's
amazing. That's amazing. And I was just listening to everybody how all the suitors were you know what, a little dismal on having Harden because he wasn't that guy. But I think you put Harden next to KD and anybody else.
Wow.
You're a contender.
I'm looking. I'm hitting this refresh button, dude. I'm hitting this.
John's wearing out that enter button.
The tips of my fingers hurt right now. I'm hitting it.
Oh, man.
So then let me ask you a question. We'll wait, but it's good. We'll
keep,
right.
Talk to me, Goose. We'll verify. We'll verify with you later on in the show.
So you said Mahomes, Allen versus Jackson. By the way, this was Allen's coming out party this year. Jackson finally won a playoff game.
Yes.
So here's the thing. The Ravens just said they will not go away from the blitz. Okay? They will blitz Allen, and he's a mobile quarterback.
Listen, it's what they're good at. It's what they're good at.
The Bills have a bottom 5 defensive line. They have a bottom 5 rush in the NFL. Defensive rush. Can the defensive front stop the legs of Lamar Jackson?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to slow him down. Now, they can slow down Lamar by the air because they have a stout secondary in that defense. But you know what? I haven't seen anybody stifle Lamar. I haven't seen anybody do it. Like, there's been a couple defensive fronts that have slowed him down. Even the Browns, with a strong defensive front, still couldn't slow him down.
Yep.
I mean, he was all over the place. And then when you think, all right, let's slow him down, and they seal up the box, 6, 7, 8 guys in the box, and you still can't control him.
Yep.
Because then he throws the ball, and he's been more accurate in his last 3 games than he has been the rest of the season. So I'd like to see him throw the ball a little more and be a little more efficient there. I think that opens up his run game and his lanes.
What?
And even if he doesn't play the option, J.K. Dobbins is a monster right now.
Dude, are you ready for this?
Talk to me, Goose.
The Nets are trading for James Harden, and they're sending 4 first-round draft picks.
Well, it has to be.
And sources are saying right now that Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen are being moved. Could be another team or 2 involved. You're giving up massive pieces.
Oh, wow. And massive draft capital.
Wow. 4 first-round picks and Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen. By the way.
So I'm betting the house that they're expected to be a contender. What happens? Kyrie's not playing. What happens if he goes there and they wet the bed?
Bro, if
does that disprove Harden's legacy? That he shouldn't have been there, that this was a terrible trade, and he and all the other suitors that didn't want Harden and his headaches on and off the court, his diva-ness, does that prove them right?
Bro, I mean, Harden right now to me is definitely not a winner, right? Like but I also
He's definitely a diva.
I also feel that Kyrie Irving proved to me that he is a winner. Kyrie Irving, when he was with the Cavaliers, he did prove big in that series. He did.
But he's got to play.
But he's also an atomic bomb waiting, right? So that's also the problem with him.
Tick, 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 tick.
Kevin Durant still has not proven to me, even though he won a championship, he had to do it with arguably the greatest team to ever walk on the hardwood. So
I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care how villainous KD may have looked because he went and they call him a sellout because he did go to an amazing team. They were going to go to, I think, to the big show without KD.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's
So
what I mean.
he just enjoyed the ride. No matter how you look at it, though, KD is a stud. He's an absolute baller. No matter when he's on the court, defensively and offensively.
It's crazy. All right, that's big news. So let's keep it going.
Huge.
So you were saying
Huge.
so you're saying Jackson? You're saying Ravens?
So I'm saying Ravens.
Okay.
I'm saying Lamar Jackson is too dynamic.
Okay.
I think Allen's going to have to do a lot more than score a lot more than one touchdown on the ground.
I agree with you.
I think Allen's got to score 2 or 3 touchdowns through the air.
Yep.
And I think Stephon Diggs going to have to have a big game. Cole Beasley better be healthy, because if they're double and triple and covering Stephon Diggs, I don't care how he's good. I mean, we had this argument back and forth. I don't think he's going to be able to do it with just those guys and his legs.
I agree. I think it's gonna end up being Mahomes versus Jackson in the AFC Championship.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
That's a huge one.
And let's go Breeze Brady.
Battle for the ages. I love it.
2 grandpas.
Yep. 2 goats.
Who,
2 goats, no matter how you look at it, man.
Who ends up persevering in this one? The Saints have a much better D, right? I think
Is that what she said?
I think at this point, the Bucs have the better offense. So which way do you go? Do you go with Tommy Terrific?
Now,
Or you go with
I'm going to tell you the last time they played.
Yep.
All right. The last time they played, was it Antonio Brown's first or second game back? So he didn't have that rhythm with Tom Brady. Right now, past 2 or 3 games, Antonio Brown's playing lights out. He's one of the best one-on-one receivers. So I think it's going to come down to defense and who can stifle who more. To be honest, I think Kamara being a more dynamic running back allows for them to be able to scheme plays and hide offensive plays better. When you see Leonard Fournette out there, you know they're running.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if they stack the box or call plays to hide the defense, I think they can scheme ways to stop Tom Brady. One thing about the Saints is they rush the middle, and when Demario Davis is on, when Tom Brady's on Demario Davis' hit list, and he comes up, he's going to disrupt the middle, which is Tom Brady's worst. Career-wise, anytime you look at him, when the Giants beat him in the Super Bowl in their undefeated season, the few times that the Jets or division rivals have beat them, it's when they disrupt the middle. I think if the Saints can disrupt the middle and throw Tom Brady off his game, make him move around a little bit, because he is not a mobile quarterback. And I don't think Drew Brees is either. But I think
Really?
Drew Brees on the move is a little bit better than Tom Brady. I'll be honest with you, because Tom Brady moves like, molasses going up a hill on a cold day.
Well, Tom Brady on the move is really him actually just looking left to right.
Yeah, talk
His
to me.
His legs still don't move.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
His fake move consists his fake juke step to consist of a head fake.
When Tom Brady moves more into the pocket, they're like, look at the mobility.
Yeah. He took 2 steps to the left.
It's crazy.
No,
Now,
but I think you disrupt the middle. I think the Saints have a better secondary
Okay.
to be able to slow that. But man, Cameron Brate has stepped up in these past games. Rob Gronkowski, Gronkopotamus has stepped up these past 2 games. If those 3, I'm not even going to bring up Chris Godwin because his speed is uncanny. But if those 3 can take on a majority of double teams in any scenario, who are you stopping?
I don't know.
That's going to be hard.
Listen.
The Saints DBs got their work cut out for them, is all I'm saying.
So who are you going with? You told me a lot of things, but you didn't tell me a winner.
I'm going with Saints.
The Saints. The Saints go marching in.
The Saints go marching in.
All right. Johnny Butters, Matt Cascarella, Tom Pasquale, Henry Salami in the building, Brad
in the
Evans,
building.
Matty Canales, Big Pat Langston, Andy Williams, Bill Taylor, Ian Mercado. What is going on, everybody?
Mercado gang.
The whole Mercado family, as always, is in the building.
Absolutely.
Welcome in, guys and girls. Thank you for watching us simulcast live here on HamiltonRadio.net and Facebook. We appreciate the love, onward and
love.
upward, as always. So I am going to go Tom Brady and the Bucs, and I'll tell you why. You ready for it?
Talk to me, Goose.
One reason and one reason only. You never bet against Tom Brady. And I know it may sound ridiculous, and I
No, man,
understand
they're-
what you said makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
And if I didn't know Tom Brady and you gave me a synopsis based on that, I would say, yep, I'm going Saints. But when you look across the sideline and TB12 is standing there, you just know there's going to be some sort of magic. That's it. Tom Brady.
I want to tell you something, though.
Talk to me.
I take offense if you calling Tom Brady. You can call him whatever nickname you want, but Tom Terrific, I reserve for the one and only Tom Seaver.
I understand, but Tom
You
Brady.
being a Mets fan, you better.
Okay. Tom Terrific 2.0. So Rodgers Goff with the Rams, is this as close of a game as the NFL wants it to be, or is this a landslide?
No, listen, I think it can be, and I don't think it's a landslide. I think it's a closer game, but I still think it's a touchdown game away. And I'm going to tell you what's going to make the hugest difference here, because you and I have literally gone back and forth for the past 3 episodes of our show talking about Davante Adams and his comparison to Stephon Diggs and being top 3 or top 2, whatever it may be.
Yep.
The difference in this game is going to come down to the weather. They're playing in Green Bay. It is said to ready to be snowing there. So if it snows there, I'm going to tell you, I don't think that defense can hold Davante Adams. I think if it doesn't snow and it's better weather, I think they got a shot. But I don't think they're holding Davante Adams, holding him down at all. I think not Tom Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers wins this by a touchdown.
Okay.
And I'm not discounting their amazing secondary. I'm actually giving them props because Jalen Ramsey. You know what? I'm going to give you a stat.
Talk to me.
I saw this one quirky stat on ESPN. Do you know that the cornerback unit of the Rams has not allowed one 20-plus yard touchdown all season?
What?
Not one.
That can't be right. Wow.
It's about to happen. I'm telling you now. Because if it's snowing out there and these guys train in the snow,
yep.
What kind of snow they got in LA? They can't even play in their own stadium.
By the way, hot take.
I'm telling you.
You ready for it?
Hit me.
Tom Pasquale. Dan seems like the type of guy that drinks soy milk. Hot take.
No soy.
Hot take.
No soy, brother.
I had to throw it in there. That was a
whole milk.
That was a great hot take.
Yes.
Tom Pasquale.
Yes. Tom.
Tom
Let's keep it on the
Pasquale
rails, man.
dropping fire in the comments. But listen, Rodgers wins, hand down. I think at least by 7. And I can't imagine. Listen, Davante Adams going to have his handful with Jalen Ramsey. No doubt.
I still think
Jalen Ramsey is a physical beast on the outside, right?
Yep, absolutely.
But Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are just too much at the end of the day.
Goat.
Okay? I like it. So unanimous, you and I across the board. I don't like to agree with you. I like to sort of try my best to disagree with you when I can.
Listen, great minds think alike.
But in this case, I can't, my friend. So we're going chalk, for you and I across the board.
Guarantee you're going to see a lot of screens in that game too.
Yes.
Because Aaron Donald's going to be coming down the line, and how do you handle the blitz? You attack it.
Now I want to
screens, short dump passes, let him come in, let him pass, right over the side. And Aaron Jones has been a monster off the screen.
I want to stay in the NFL.
Let's do it.
There's 3 more stories.
Oh yeah.
that were starting to surface recently. The first, the marriage between Watson and the Texans seems to be coming to a divorce.
Oh yeah, they're breaking up.
So let me ask you a question. Where do you see Watson going?
All right.
This is major.
This is huge.
Huge.
All right, so I posted something earlier in the week about Watson possibly coming to the Jets, and the Jets giving up their 2 first-round picks, and possibly next year's first-round pick, because we have a slew. We have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years, so you can still get a high draft pick. Depending where we end up, you might get another pick. You trade a couple people, you might get some compensation picks in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. I would love to see him go to the Jets, and I think it would solve a lot of problems, because he's already a proven quarterback who can play with a terrible line, and he's mobile. So you can move the pocket, you can scheme up plays for him, and he's got a big arm. I would love to have him at the Jets, but I think he may end up with the Bears
Wow.
or even Denver.
Wow. Really?
Now, if you think about it, you're looking at, I mean, the Jags, you can't say they got the number 1 pick. They're going Trevor Lawrence. They're solving their issue real quick.
No, 0% chance they trade for Watson. 0%.
If they trade that first-round pick, I can't imagine them trading the first-round pick.
You couldn't see potentially.
No, I could see it potentially, but they have more cap room to keeping Trevor Lawrence. Because then they have another 3 years before they got to pay a quarterback, and they can settle up their lineup. Because they're another team that needs offensive guards. They need defense in the middle.
Yep.
So they have a lot of other essential holes to plug before they have the plug-and-play quarterback or start paying a big-name quarterback, I should say. So that's the only reason I don't think that they'll trade. Jets, I don't think I'm sold on Justin Fields. And the Jags, say if the Jags don't trade down, who are you taking? You're taking Justin Fields, an unproven quarterback?
Yep.
With one healthy lineman?
I don't care what
no center?
I don't care what Justin Fields did against Clemson. Dude, I'm not sold on him.
Well, I'm not sold on him because of what he did in the championship game. I mean, did you see anything that was that amazing? And he's got a monster squad around him. Ohio State is a school that's built that football team is built on the wholeness of a huge team.
Yep. Big
players, physical specimens. When you got a team like that and you get out-coached and out-executed on the field in a college level, imagine what's going to happen to him at the NFL level. I think the game's going to be too fast for him. He's going to want to run. He's going to be like Jalen Hurts. He's going to want to run every play. He's going to either get himself hurt or make whatever team he's on lose by trying to do too much with his legs instead of trying to work on his craft and be better with his arm.
Okay. I like it.
But I think either the Bears or Denver. I mean, I really think John Elway's going to pull something.
Ready for this?
Talk to me, Goose.
The Jets do not get a lineman. The Jets stay with Sam Darnold, and the Jets take Heisman Trophy winner Devonta Smith.
Nope. 166 pounds wet.
They take him.
I think he's amazing, but and what he did out there, but the press coverage you see in the SEC is not the press coverage you see in the NFL, man.
They take him. The Jets, this is what the Jets are going to say. You ready? They're going to get a new head coach, probably Gase Jr. And
actually, they just finished their second interview with Saleh.
Yeah, and they let him walk out the door without a contract, which means he will go somewhere else and get a contract.
I think it's possible. But I think everybody's, right now, it's still early. I think everybody's weighing out their options. Bieniemy. And I mentioned earlier in previous episodes, Brian Schottenheimer, who yesterday was just released from the Seahawks staff. So I wouldn't be surprised you see him at one Jets drive taking an interview.
Bro.
I called it.
I'm telling you right now, I feel bad. I have to tell you this.
Talk to me, Goose.
The Jets are an awful organization.
Yeah, man.
They will hire the wrong head coach, and they will draft the wrong player.
So you think they'll mess it up either way?
Smith is going to the Jets, and they are going to get a head coach that makes no sense.
I think Smith will go to a team that needs him. I think the Jets trade down. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them trade with possibly like the Cowboys.
Devonta Smith's going to be. By the way, I could see Jerry Jones trading up and getting Smith, and adding Smith to Cooper Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, and just saying, well, any quarterback could throw to these guys. I don't care if we can't stop the run. I don't care if we can protect the quarterback. I don't care if we can stop anybody on defense.
Sound like Ross Perot.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's my Jerry Jones impersonation.
I see it. I like it.
So you know,
I like it.
That's
Ross Perot all day.
Is that what that's?
It sounds like Ross Perot.
This is I don't care. I'm just going to put as many.
Can I finish?
It doesn't matter if Zeke fumbles every other down. It doesn't matter. Just throw the ball over the field.
Yeah, man. You need
I hate Jerry
Do you
Jones.
even have a consistent lineman?
No,
like
we have
you've changed guards how many times in every
Dude,
game?
All four of our starters, previous Pro Bowlers, were injured. Tyron Smith, season-ending injury, who's one of the best left tackles in the NFL,
Oh.
but he's been injury-riddled. Okay, his career's probably done. Zach Martin, Pro Bowl.
Oh man, he was my favorite of your last
Lyle
probably
Collins.
10 picks.
Injured for the season. Travis Frederick, right before the draft
done.
night, retires. Bro,
Ugh,
gone.
Forget about it. Oh,
The
that's horrendous,
line-
John.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, at one point the Cowboys called me up, asked me to stuff my shirt with pillows and play offensive line.
To be honest with you, I did play offensive line for 3 games for them. I
I-
wore somebody else's jersey. And
I knew
mean,
it. You know
I
what
was in
though?
there.
There was a guy, and it's crazy. I knew it.
You knew it. You saw me.
The name confused me. The name, his last name was Johnson.
Yeah,
You
Johnson.
don't look like a Johnson. Confused me.
Yeah, it's contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular
Look
belief.
like a Johnson.
But yeah, it just depends on what you're talking about.
All
that
right,
moment.
rails,
Yeah,
rails.
It depends. Oh, here you go. More news. More news. Houston and Indy
Oh.
flip. Levert for Oladipo. So Indy is now involved.
Andy Williams,
Wow.
Pat Langston, Fred DeRose. What's happening, guys? What's happening?
And Jarrett Allen's going to the Cavs, it looks like.
Woo!
Wow, a lot of moves here on the NBA front. All for a couple babies.
Oh man.
Just cry your way
But that just
out.
shows the weakness of the NBA, man.
Weak.
Weak,
Weak sauce.
weak, and soft.
SAWFT.
Soft.
It's incredible. That's how we say it in
Terrible.
Jersey, bro. Get with the program. It's soft.
Soft.
Thank you. All right. Let's keep going here. Next.
Soft. You sound like you're from Staten Island.
No. Don't.
Soft.
Don't do that. to me.
Soft.
Don't ever do that to me.
It's so soft in here.
Just don't do that.
The
To me.
NBA so soft. I can't believe these Knicks.
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Ugh.
Staten, Italy.
Ugh.
I love it.
Gosh.
I love it.
All right.
Some good people I know there, man.
Yeah, great. So you ready for
All
it?
5 of them.
All 5. I wanna move over.
Andy Williams. Let's go Knicks.
I wanna move over. Oh, by the way,
Oh yeah.
Obi Toppin, Obi-Wan makes his Madison Square Garden debut tonight.
I can't wait.
How bad do you want this guy to be the real deal? How bad?
I can taste it, man. I mean,
It's weird.
I can't, bro. The way that they've been playing. My problem is Julius Randle. He's probably one of the best inconsistent players I've ever seen. He has 2 monster nights and then falls asleep for a week, and then makes Jarrett. I mean, R.J. Barrett. Excuse me. R.J. Barrett looks like a superstar right next to him, and then R.J. Barrett still has a great night, but Julius Randle doesn't. Knicks lose 2 games in a row. Now everybody in the media is like, "Hey, is there a problem with the Knicks?" No, they're a growing young team, and showing signs of life.
Of course.
And I'm happy for what it is. And I think Obi Toppin, Obi-Wan, goes in there and is a monster. You need him on both sides of the ball. You need him under the rim. You need him to be a beast.
Listen, I was trying to tell everybody a little bit ago that the Knicks are a young team and they're 5-3. They're not going to do very much. Everyone kind of jumped on me and was like, "Dude, the Knicks, like, you got to talk about them, whatever." 3-game losing streak. They're sub 500. Guys and girls, this is what's supposed to happen, right?
You got to give him time. I think the way that organization has been run for so long. Listen, if they're playing 500 ball, I'll take it. I'll take it right now. If you show me a couple stars go out there, and maybe Tibbs can put everything together by mid-season, maybe you start showing signs of life. We get a nice another draft pick next year. Have a nice day. I think you're rebuilding. I think it takes a lot less. People don't realize that in the NBA, it takes a lot less when you're in a rebuilding mode than other sports teams. But the Knicks historically have shown that is not true. Either by poor management, ownership,
Yep.
business decisions. They sell out for stars like Carmelo. They sell out for stars like Strawberry. And you know what? They're great. It's great to bring people and put butts in the seats. But you know what? You got to win games if you want to keep those people in the seats.
I agree with you. Knicks suck. That's it's the moral of the story. I'm sorry.
All right.
I mean, that's the moral of the story.
All right, John, that's enough.
Okay. I mean,
Listen, on a positive note, before I go on a rant, on a positive note, just want to give a shout out to the John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities. I appreciate you, John, always putting out great content, putting out our show. And big, huge shout out to Braden Michaels, 12-year-old, yesterday. Happy birthday, buddy. One of our biggest fans. I appreciate you, brother.
who's that?
Braden Michaels, my nephew.
Oh, I was waiting for like an introduction of who this young man was, but you didn't really.
Yes. No, it looked like you were about to say something, so I wanted to, and then you looked at me.
No,
like,
I
with
was
the
I
look.
was waiting in like suspense.
Absolutely. So
You
Braden
left me,
Braden
like-
Michaels is my nephew.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Braden. Happy birthday. I hope you had a great day the other day. It was nice cutting cake with you.
Did you follow COVID protocols?
Absolutely not. There was less than 10 of us in the house.
Wow. That's. I'm calling the cops.
Call him.
I'm snitching.
All right, Karen.
Got him. Yo, listen. I want to move to baseball.
Oh, I've been so
I'm
excited. I
pumped up.
couldn't wait for you to do this.
I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. You ready? The Mets traded for Francisco Lindor. Bro,
And Cookie Carrasco.
can we say something? Can
Say
we
it. We're on the radio. We're live.
How about the Mets, baby?
How about those Mets?
How
Let's
about
go.
Uncle Stevie?
Let's
bro?
go. Uncle Stevie does it again. Uncle Stevie does it again. We now have, and just let me tell you, if you're not a big baseball fan, you're gonna be. If you're a New York resident, I'm telling you, because the Queens rivals of the Yankees have now become the big brother, and I feel like they got the biggest face out there, the best face to represent the Mets, Francisco Lindor. I love it. The Mets now have a solid infielder with huge range on the infield, allows for us to move things around, solidify third base. You got somebody with range like that, then you can move the other tool players around in the infield, and you still got somebody solid in shortstop. One of the most important spots.
We were discussing. We discussed this a lot over the last few weeks.
Absolutely.
We talked about who we wanted, who we
Absolutely.
didn't want. And in theory, you and I wanted Lindor, but we didn't want to trade anybody, right? So
Well, we didn't want to trade the meat and potatoes. We were talking
Correct.
about J.D. Davis and which would,
Alonso
and
and
Alonso
yeah.
and I think it was Jimenez.
Yes.
And we ended up getting rid of, a couple of them, but
So we got rid of Rosario,
Rosario.
And Jimenez. We got rid of a couple prospects, but
we kept the meat and potatoes.
we kept the meat and potatoes.
I love it.
And now we have JD on third currently. We'll have McNeil at second. We'll have Pete Alonso first. We'll have Francisco Lindor at short, and we will have James McCann at catcher. I have to tell you.
Yeah, I'm getting a chub.
Oh, by the way, I want to give a massive,
Huge.
huge shout out now. I have to give a shout out to Marco Mandel out there. See, let me tell you something, brother. Marco, so I'm blessed to work with kids for a living,
Right.
And Marco's been one of the kids that I've known now for 5 years. I've seen him grow up. Amazing kid. He is on my travel team, and
Awesome.
he is the pit bull of the travel team.
Nice.
So he's going to be one of the smallest guys on the team, not stocky wise, but height wise, right? So because Marco's listening right now, I'm gonna blow him up something good. So last year,
Do it.
last year before COVID shut us down,
Right.
our big man on our team, we call him Big Red. Big Red's getting shut down. White boy covered in freckles, red fro. Okay.
Red Rocket.
He's getting shut down. Coach looks down the bench at him and goes, "Yo, Marco, let's go." Marco walks over to Coach. Coach goes, "You see that guy right there? Bro, the kid, a fifth grader, must have been, I'm not joking, must have been 6'1", 300 pounds, okay? He looks at Marco and he goes, "You see that guy right there? Shut him down. I don't care what you got to do about it. I don't care how you do it." Marco goes in the game and starts throwing forearms at this Yokozuna, okay?
Wow.
That's who he was at. He was up against Yokozuna,
Wow.
bro, and he did what he was asked to do. And that's the type of kid Marco is, man. That's why I love Marco. No matter what, no matter what, I could be jawing at him on the sidelines. I could be like, bro, you're never gonna do that against my guys ever again. And he'll just give me a wink, like he just knows.
Oh,
I love him, Marco.
Swag.
Love you, buddy.
That's called swaggle.
I am happy you're listening as well. But here's the thing.
Shout out to Marco.
It isn't as great as the Mets getting Lindor. And I love Marco, but it's not as great as my Mets getting Lindor. And listen, I now, with McCann and Lindor,
Absolutely.
And Carrasco. By the way, not to be
Cookie.
Carrasco to go with DeGrom and Stroman. We have a formidable pitching staff. God willing, Noah Syndergaard is healthy.
Oh, I think if Syndergaard comes back healthy, I think we're unstoppable.
Bro.
I think we go on a run, we go on a tear, and I think you're going to see us do better than getting a 12-game winning streak right before the All-Star game before we have our 12-game losing streak. I think we're monsters.
I want one more.
Springer.
No.
Who?
I want Arenado. Now listen.
I got to tell you, though. If that's the lineup, dude.
Hold on. Ready for it?
We can't lose. You can't lose one game. If you get Arenado, you can't lose one game.
I would trade right now.
It's like an all-star team.
I would trade right. You know who I would trade right now for him?
You got the #1 Gold Glove. You got a 400 batting average across the board for the first 5 hitters.
If we got Arenado, I would trade J.D. Davis, Pete Alonso, draft picks, and cash considerations. You put Arenado on third, okay? You put Lindor at short.
Yeah, that kind of range, just those two. You don't even have to play the shift.
You put Dominic Smith at first, James McCann
it's over.
at catcher.
It's over.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I do not care what sort of farm system I have. With that infield, it would be outrageous.
It would be bananas.
Bro, please. Uncle
Wow.
Stevie, I have so much faith. I have so much confidence in everything you're doing. Without the Lindor move, I have so much confidence in you.
But with the Lindor move, I mean, you're looking at a player that's averaging over 300 from both sides.
You have now given
adding Lindor now. I tell you what, after this season, you may be singing a different tune after these maybe next 2 seasons. Lindor may be the best switch hitter that the Mets have ever seen.
That's a bold statement.
Hot take?
That's a big hot take. Wow.
I'm telling you, you
Over
give him
Beltran?
some time and he stays. And I'm telling you,
Come on.
Beltran may be a better slugger, but
Bro.
I guarantee you his OPS is not going to be what this kid is.
Dude,
I'm telling you, this kid
Beltran's
is
the
going to bring
best-
monsters.
No, Beltran's the best hitting switch hitter in the history of baseball.
Not in the history. In the history of the Mets.
No, in the history of baseball.
No, we went over this.
Nah, Beltran's the best.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Pete Rose.
Nah, Beltran.
Pete Rose.
Okay.
All day.
Beltran.
Pete Rose to the Hall of Fame.
I don't care if they were banging trash cans. Beltran's the best hitting.
No, but listen, Lindor with an amazing baseball IQ coming out of Caguas, Puerto Rico. I'm telling you, he is phenomenal. He is going to be the face of the Mets, and he's a guy that's all about solutions. You know what they call. You know what his nickname is? So you got the polar bear, you got Cookie, and you got Mr. Smiles because he looks at every kind of adversity with a smile, and he never has a problem. He only has a solution. I love it. I can't wait.
Wow. I can't believe what you're just, bro.
Yeah, I put that out there. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Talk to me, Goose.
I'm not gonna say that.
You think I want to come out here and talk about the same things that everybody talks about in the lunchroom?
Yeah, but I feel like you're doing it, and I'm telling you that Beltran's better. But
no, listen. I said right now, Beltran is the best Mets switch hitter ever. I'm agreeing with you, but I think you give this kid Francisco Lindor time, and if he stays with the Mets,
I want it to happen.
Then it's going to happen.
I want it to happen. I want it to.
I tell you what. Let me look something up real quick.
By the way, I want everyone to know, anybody who is a member of Mystery Sports Reveals, so you guys know, keep your eyes open over the next couple weeks. We do have some New York Mets James McCann memorabilia coming in already.
Nice. I like the plug.
How about that?
I like the plug.
You like that?
Maybe we can do a giveaway.
Maybe we can do a giveaway. Maybe
Oh,
we could
yo,
do a giveaway for James McCann jersey.
Let's do it.
A Mets James McCann jersey.
That sounds fantastic.
Wow.
Are you guys ready for it? I don't know if they're ready for it, John.
Maybe we give away a James McCann New York Mets autographed jersey.
Do the damn thing.
Wow.
Now let me tell you something about Lindor though. One more
You can
time.
tell me whatever you like. You can tell me. I don't have to agree with
Did you know,
every
John? No, this is not an agreement. This is a fact.
time. Fact.
Fun fact.
I
Dinner
love
fun
facts.
facts.
I love facts.
Did you know, John, that in Game 2 of the 2017 ALDS versus the New York Yankees, who we're going to get into in a second,
Okay.
and I'm getting deep in the Yankees, Lindor became the third shortstop in Major League history to hit a grand slam in the postseason.
Really?
Amazing, right?
Wow.
That's the trajectory that this kid is on. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
I mean, listen. I'm hoping, man. You know how Mets fans are. We're cynical, bro. You
No, I
know
got you. It's all
this.
New York. It's not just the Mets fans. I
Yeah.
mean, we're gluttons
You
for
know-
punishment.
you
We
know
want to be like, hey, listen, he's gonna mess it up in the end. But you know what? What if he doesn't?
Yep.
What if Uncle Stevie is here to stay and he's doing the right thing and he's gonna make the Mets great again?
See, this
I love it.
Andy Williams, I'm going to let you guys know. The reward of listening to us and really staying tuned and rocking with us is this. I'm not going to make an announcement. Danny's not going to make an announcement when we decide to give something away. What we're going to do is over the next few shows, when we start to get some nice stuff in, when we start to decide that we just want to be, we want to go all out for the show. Bro, major things.
Huge.
Over the last 4 weeks, our views are through the roof.
Absolutely, I love it.
Literally through the roof. And it's crazy because this really is a grassroots production. It's so organic. And you know, we've been messaged by other people. We've been told by other networks they want us, whatever. And it's kind of weird because we sat down and talked about how we get more views and have more followers than other networks have.
Yep.
Is that not crazy?
Thank you, guys. That's all we can say.
So whoever rocks out with us on a week-to-week basis, you don't have to
Write
worry.
it down, John. Write it down.
You don't have to worry about us making an announcement, people who really don't rock out with us getting to be locked in and get to enjoy any of that. No. No way. Whoever's here with us on a week-to-week,
Pat Walsh. Pat Walsh, that's a huge compliment, man. Thanks very much.
you guys and girls get to reap the benefits of that. So when the McCann jersey comes in, whoever's listening to us that week, I'm not making an announcement. I'm not letting everybody else join in just to win something. No. You, whoever's listening, is going to be up and eligible
You got to roll with us.
for that. Pat Walsh, thank you, brother. Much love to
Absolutely.
you. So we talk Lindor. Now, I heard reports that Boston was getting Springer. That's what I heard.
Now, Boston was supposed to be getting Springer. He went down for an interview with them.
Okay.
So he was coming out of there. I didn't hear any reports of when he came out. So I'm assuming there's going to be an announcement for a contract there.
That's what I thought. Can you tell me how dumb this is? No, seriously, I got to ask you a question.
Now, the Blue Jays have said to be offering him upwards of 125 mil. So I don't know
the
if
Blue
Boston-
Jays.
Yeah, the Blue Jays.
Yo, the Blue Jays are really coming out the gates this
They're
offseason.
coming out the gates.
Like,
But
they're
I think if
talking
they don't
everywhere.
make some of these signings, if they don't get some of these signings, if they don't close some of these, like say they don't get him and they get one other closer, I mean they still got a suspect lineup.
Yep.
So they're gonna need run support.
Dude,
They need guys like Springer.
Bro, the craziest thing about it is, to me, what I don't get is how Boston lets Mookie Betts walk, okay? A generational player goes to the Dodgers, they win a World Series, bro. You would agree with me, right?
Huge.
Okay. Gotta be
Best trade probably in the past 5 years.
top 3 outfielder, period, in the game right now. And you let him go, and then you're talking about signing Springer, then why let Mookie Betts go?
Exactly.
I don't understand. What would be the point of letting a generational player go, keeping JD Martinez at 36, and then getting
Yeah,
Springer?
well past his age.
Well, but I don't understand. There's no cohesiveness in that franchise, and I really feel like the Alex Cora I do feel like that crippled them, and it's very, very painful to see with that organization. We have a phone call. Let's let him in.
Nice.
Who do we got?
Caller, welcome.
Caller, what's going on? Who do we have?
Hey, Johnny Butters.
Johnny
JBM, what's up,
Butters.
baby? How you doing, man?
What's up, bud?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing. Talk to us, Johnny. Tell me what chaps your ass this
Tell
week.
me
Go ahead.
something good.
Well, listen, we could go 100 different directions, but I mean, let's talk baseball first.
I love it.
Congratulations, Uncle Stevie came out big for you guys.
Mhm. Big time,
I mean, that was a huge trade.
bro.
I mean, me personally, I'm not a Mets fan, but I felt like the Mets needed this.
So the Mets needed a lot. I mean, listen, the Mets needed new ownership, right? Then Steve Cohen came through. The Mets needed to make a big off-season move, and the Mets did that. The Mets are one move away, what I feel, one move away from becoming a perennial winner. And the move to me is actually not a player. The move to me is a very, very good skipper. It's a very good head coach.
Yep.
That's the move to me that the Mets need to go in that direction next. I feel like you have the talent on the field, not the end-all be-all, but there's talent on the
Solid.
field enough to win games for you. And by the way, be in contention with a very good Boston team and a very good Nationals team. And a Marlins team that's up and coming, right?
Yep.
I don't know what the Phillies are doing out there. I can't, I really don't. Because I thought that the Phillies, with getting Real Muto and Harper, I thought that they were supposed to be the team to beat. And I've never seen a team that lost arguably one of the best players in baseball and then win a World Series. And the Nationals did that. They gave up Harper and then won a championship.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question, Johnny Butters. If the Mets, one move the Mets need to do next, one, to be a legitimate championship contender, what would you do if you were Steve Cohen and the owner of the New York Mets?
Right now, I'd say they still have to go after Springer. They need a center fielder.
I agree with you. I just don't think he's going to be available. I think he's going to go to Boston. Although I am hearing now that Boston's looking to trade Andrew Benintendi. I just heard that today.
I think if they find a suitor for him, I think Springer's going to be in Boston.
I mean, definitely. But Benintendi, I would love to get my hands on Benintendi.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Young, stud.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is he, 28, 29?
He's very young. I love Andrew's game. Who would you rather have, Johnny? Who would you rather have if you could have him in your lineup? Would you rather Chris Bryant? Would you rather Nolan Arenado? Or would you rather George Springer? Don't talk about the moves they need to make, the trades, none of that, the assets. Just talk about the player. Bryant, Arenado, Springer.
Well, Arenado will definitely add more bats behind if he was to go to the Mets. Because Arenado's just really having just great season. He just came off. So, I mean, I would see Arenado. But for the Mets to pull that kind of move, they need to do a lot just to get Arenado. At least with Springer, they still have a shot.
I'm telling you, for me, Arenado's top 5 player in all of baseball. I'm being honest.
I mean, listen,
he's got to
arguably, yeah.
He's got to be the
Yep.
best third baseman, right? Can you think of a better third baseman?
At the age range, no. A better third baseman that's on his way out, maybe Justin Turner. I don't have like a list of them.
Yeah.
He's top 5 easily.
So if you put Arenado, arguably the best third baseman in baseball, on that
Right.
team, next to arguably the best shortstop in baseball, with a very good second baseman in McNeil and a very young up-and-coming Alonso after a sophomore year slump, right? But it was an awkward year for everybody, really.
But that's historically everybody's got a sophomore year.
And
slump.
James McCann. Are you telling me there's a better lineup? Seriously.
I can't. I don't see it. You're
You're gonna have McNeil, batting first or Lindor, and so you can switch them. You're going to have
You can put him wherever you want in the
yeah.
lineup.
So first and second, because you want arguably your best hitter to have the most at bats. So first or second is where they're gonna bat. The most consistent guys. McNeil gets on base, bats 320, 330, whatever he does. You know what I mean? So he's gonna get on base. Followed up by Arenado behind Pete Alonso and Dominic Smith. Bro, that's crazy. And don't sleep on Nimmo.
Nimmo.
And by the way, people
lineup,
say
Nimmo
Nimmo
in the
at
middle
the top
lineup.
spot. People say they want Nimmo first.
I'd put Nimmo first and put Lindor at third in the 3-hole.
Wow, it's a stout lineup, man. Where do you put J.D. Davis?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
You
You just throw J.D. Davis somewhere.
I mean, with that
I
kind
love
of
it.
talent.
I love it.
What did we say? All right, so we said a few weeks ago, Johnny Butters, you tell me if you agree or not. If you go acquire a guy like Lindor and you get Arenado, like what John's talking about, it solves all the infield problems. You can move whoever anywhere. And the range that those two gentlemen have. Even if you put Lindor at second, put McNeil at shortstop, I don't care. If you're against a left-handed batter, why I would shift it over. And you don't even need to play in the shift. Lindor's got so much range.
Now, Johnny Butters, would you rather trade for Arenado, or would you just sign outright DJ LeMahieu to play third? What would you do?
I mean, if I'm trying to win games, I'm trying to trade for Arenado. That's not even a question.
Okay. See, for me, the Yankees. So, who do you like, Johnny Butters? Who's your favorite baseball team?
No, I'm a Yankees fan.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
So then
by the way, that's amazing.
Perfect segue into the LeMahieu debacle.
LeMahieu now said he's frustrated and upset at what's taking the Yankees so long. Sort of a stalemate here. Do you think the Yankees are messing up? Do you think the Yankees are messing this up with LeMahieu, or do you think that LeMahieu still ends up signing with them?
I see it as a two-sided coin, because one side is going to be the Yankees organization messing it up for him, and then I could also see LeMahieu, in his situation as well. So I mean, it goes either way. But when you really look at it, it'd be slightly towards the Yankees organization.
So now do you think that do you think the Yankees are playing hardball, as they're saying, to DJ LeMahieu's team?
Yeah, they're definitely playing hardball right now.
Okay, so a lot of people have said that. It's been discussed, and I'm going to tell you something. I handle negotiations. Outside of here, I'm in the car business for the past probably 20 years. The problem with negotiations depends on who you're talking to. If you want the average 3-tool player who asks for too much money, if you want him to go get you a contract and bring you an offer and say, hey, listen, this is what we're offering you. If you got something better, bring it to me and maybe we can talk that out. I don't think that's hardball. I think that's standard negotiation. But when you have your star player, the heart and soul of your team, and you don't make him the offer beforehand, the way that baseball is and the way that sports are run today and how the players have upper hand, man, you're not handling it properly. Because that's like a customer comes in and tells me, hey, listen, this is what I want for this car. Mm-hmm. I have an offer somewhere else. And you go, yeah, all right, but you got to bring me this. You start downplaying what they're saying. No, you've seen what I got. You've seen what I'm putting out. I'm giving you the product that you want, and you don't want to pay me. You don't think I'm worth it, or you think your other players on the team are worth more to distribute money to them than to me. And DJ LeMahieu, though he's getting up in age, I would take that veteran over anybody else except for maybe Arenado. And I think Uncle Stevie is going to step in, because now, from what I hear, DJ LeMahieu has told his agents and his people to go out and rekindle those spicy talks with other teams that are interested.
I love when they rekindle.
Oh yeah, Kindle is amazing.
I love
Johnny. Where do you think he's going to go? Do you think the Yankees sign him, or do you think they let him slide?
I mean, given the Yankees' track record on trying to, keep players, I mean, most likely you'll probably see him gone.
Wow.
We both said wow, because
that's amazing,
bro. He's like the glue of that team.
He absolutely is.
Wow.
Wow. So you
I
think
would love to see LeMahieu in a Mets
he's...
uniform.
Oh, man.
Bro,
John, if we see LeMahieu in a Mets uniform, my
going
first
streaking.
interview is going to be straight at the stadium.
Nah, I'll tell you right now, if LeMahieu signs with the Mets, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I am getting arrested for streaking.
We're going through the quad
We're going
to the
streaking!
gymnasium. 100%, man. I am with you, John. I don't know about the streaking, but I'm with you, bud.
No, well,
Don't worry, I'll bail you out.
Well, if I'm going streaking, you're definitely not going streaking right next to me.
Yeah, I don't want to
You
embarrass
go cross town.
I wouldn't want to embarrass you.
Yeah, well, bro, I don't think either of these physiques is one home to ride home. about.
Listen, I don't know.
What? What are you going? What are you going to say?
The top and the bottom,
God,
but the middle is something to see, buddy.
What, the belly area, dude? You got that
Oh, yeah.
dad bod all day.
It's a phenomenal dad bod.
Don't talk to bro. You and I. Let me tell you something.
My
When
body
you and I turn sideways.
My body may not be the Ferrari of all dad bods, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
more
tell
like
you,
a jalopy.
I'm more like a Ferrari with a car cover.
Oh God.
Talk to me,
Someone
Goose.
please help me. Oh my God.
Yeah, baby.
Dude, you and I at this point are shaped like a Volkswagen Beetle. I don't want to hear that crap.
Listen, but I got 20s on, baby.
You're a mess.
I'm
This
a hot
guy.
mess.
Come on, man. Listen, the Mets signed LeMahieu.
The Mets signed LeMahieu. I think that seals the deal. I think nobody wants to play us.
Okay.
I think we dominate. I think we start breaking records, franchise records, and we go into the tear into the postseason. God willing, we stay healthy.
While we have Johnny Butters on, I'm gonna go backwards for 1 second. I want to ask Johnny because he's had a couple takes on a particular team. So Johnny, I want to know. I want you to drop a little bit of knowledge on us here. Your thoughts on this? The Steelers, which you predicted to fall apart in the second half, so it was a great prediction. They were 11-0, and they lost 5 of their last 6, including the playoff game to the Cleveland Browns. I want to ask you now, Johnny, who's to blame for the Pittsburgh Steelers' collapse?
That's a tough question.
I mean, realistically, when we were thinking about it, that would fall on the head coach. That would have to go on Tomlin's, shoulders.
I can't agree with you, Johnny. I'm sorry. The amount of drops, they've dropped 30% of their passes. And I'm not saying Ben Roethlisberger's throwing bad or he's throwing behind the receivers or anything's off. They got to catch the ball. If it hits your hands, you got to catch it. You got to. Over 30% of your passes you drop. Now, if your quarterback's a 60% completion passer, you just made him half the man he is.
I'm half the man.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it though. Like, okay, they're dropping passes. You got to take somebody to strike that match, and that match has to be stricken by the head coach.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. He's the one that's got to make them
put that
accountable.
light under him.
That's a good point. Great point, Johnny. Great point. But I think the players still have to go out there and execute. Everybody still has to go out there and do their job. I think he tried to make them accountable for those last 3 weeks after their first loss to their demise. That began their demise. They started to fall apart after that. Juju wouldn't stop dancing. I guess you could say that if the players are doing nonsense on the field and then producing nonsense on the field, you could put that on the head coach. But I think it can't be all on his shoulders. I think 11 guys go out there, and you have to put it on all 11 guys.
I'm gonna put the blame. I'm gonna put the blame on Big Ben. I'm gonna put the blame on Big Ben. So I'll tell you what. Big Ben is a shell of himself. I said it a couple weeks ago when I felt that I was watching a completely different Big Ben when he was moving down the field, right? 2 minutes left in the game. He needed to move. He needed to score points.
Right.
Everyone knew they were going to go for it all 4 downs. He's playing the Bengals, the game they lost to the Bengals. Big Ben is scrambling out of the pocket. Now, if there's something I've always been able to say about Big Ben, he could hang his hat on the deep throw. Always had a big arm. Big Ben scrambles, points out to Chase Claypool to turn and go up the field. And Big Ben had a chance to actually step into the throw, right? and still underthrew him. So it tells me that age, wear and tear has taken its toll on Big Ben's body, and he cannot do the necessary things to keep this team moving down the field. And I feel that Big Ben is done. Now I ask the two of you, and we'll let Johnny Butters
let Johnny answer first.
and then you. The Steelers have historically been a very, very good drafting team. Historically, they always draft well.
Very good talent.
Good character, good talent. They always have people buying to the Steelers' way. If Big Ben is in fact done, which direction do they go, Johnny Butters?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could take a gamble on draft day and draft a quarterback, but do they want to take that gamble is the question. Do they want to start all over and and start rebuilding that position? I mean, you have guys like right now, Deshaun Watson, that's complaining. They can make a move for him. I mean, you still have the Carson Wentz situation as well. I mean, you have quarterbacks out there that want to play, and they need a different environment. So I mean, it all depends on what Pittsburgh wants to do. I mean, do you want to take the gamble on draft day, or do you want to go for a veteran right now?
I actually said.
So now, what are you going to give up for the veteran?
I don't know.
The question.
Exactly. It depends what kind of draft capital they give up. Now, I want to before you go, I just want to put my answer because I disagree.
Go.
I disagree with it. It's Ben Roethlisberger as a shell of himself because you talked about how big his arm is. Now, JB, I don't know if you know this stat, but there's only 2 quarterbacks who have ever thrown for 500-plus yards in a single postseason game and lost, and it's Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and Ben Roethlisberger in the wild card game. So the fact that he threw for 500-plus yards and lost tells me it's a team effort that they lost, the reason they lost, not because of his poor production. My only issue is that it looks like their defense didn't show up to play till the second half, which leaves the offense little to no traction to make it a fair game in the first 2 quarters.
What a bad showing in the first half by that Steelers team.
They didn't show up. There was a no showing. It was horrible. Johnny, did you see the game?
Did I ever?
Dude,
I got a good laugh out of it.
Oh, tell me about it. What was it, like 30-something to nothing in the first half?
It was 35-10 in the first half.
That's terrible.
The Cleveland Browns to come score 28 points just like that, it was just amazing.
A one-dimensional team.
Because that first half, you didn't see the offense and you didn't see the defense. I think what it was the second half, I think the Browns were starting to run out of gas, but they built themselves a big enough lead that they didn't have to look back.
Absolutely. Just run the ball. You got 2 power runners. Run the ball, control the clock the rest of the game.
It's crazy.
With no head coach. No head coach.
Pittsburgh looked bad. Pittsburgh looked bad.
Looked horrible out there. Terrible defense. Didn't show up. Not running the ball. Trying to throw the ball, force the ball every time. And now you're playing from behind by 20 points. Of course you're going to throw 500 yards.
What do you think about this? What do you think about this Harden to the Nets deal, Johnny? How do you feel about that?
Ooh.
I mean, oh my God. I mean, me personally, I stopped following the NBA only because, a lot of these guys are just getting way too ridiculous.
Yep.
I watch ESPN. I see everything is going on. With the whole Kyrie Irving situation. Oh Jesus Christ! Dude. How old are you? Grow up.
Absolutely.
You signed the paper. You're there to work. Do the work. Go home. Plain and simple.
That's it. And by the way, that could be said across the board, so everyone knows. That's been my feelings about athletes. I always feel like, we obviously hold athletes to a very high standard, and I think we hold athletes to a high. I do. Let me talk for me. I hold athletes to a high standard because they play a child's game and make more money than 99.9% of the people in the world. Right?
And those pros will agree with you.
So they're on the court playing basketball, and yeah, they work, but let me tell you something. You're not working. When you show up, you have the greatest nutritionists in the world, the greatest chefs,
Facts.
the greatest strength coaches,
Facts.
physical therapists.
Preach.
So the fact is 1 year, once you sign that contract, you are actually taken care of forever and ever. And so I hold them to a very high standard.
You have to.
The fact is I don't look at any of them as a hero. I don't look at any of them as somebody that I will follow or want my kids to follow as a role model. I could care less. What I don't care to do is to hear them run their mouth in a press conference after the game. Now listen, game's over. The media is in their locker room on Tuesdays. There's no game, right? And they're holding the conference, and the players want to talk about how they feel. Do you, bro? There's no game going on. There's nothing to talk about. You want to talk about the things that you're promoting? Talk about whatever you want to talk about. When you're right before a game, when you're in the game, right after the game, and you're still locked into your profession, I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear you cry about how the world is flat. I don't want to hear you cry. And by the way, this may sound insensitive. I don't want to hear you talk about social injustices. Now, the next day, you're in your regular clothes. A reporter wants to go out of their way to ask you questions. Talk about it. Talk about it. Raise awareness. Whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
That's your platform. If they want to stick a microphone in your face, talk about it.
Freedom of speech.
That's it. But you're out here crying, forcing teams that went ahead and paid you hundreds of millions of dollars.
Disgusting.
And you cry your way out of town. And by the way, on the basketball court, there's more flopping going on now. I mean, dude, than in a belly flop contest. I mean, I gotta watch Harden. I literally gotta watch Harden travel on the court. Step back, step back, step back. Shoot a three. 40% of the time during a game, maybe higher. Okay, 60% of the time he's shooting threes. Like, yo, my man, do me a favor, please.
But he's not a clutch player. So a guy like that shoots threes, but then when he gets to the playoffs, he can't finish. That's when he doesn't make the game winning shot.
But I wouldn't change my opinion if it was Jordan. You have to understand, I'm not changing my stance, no matter who it is. The reason is because it's like me. I walk into the office. My boss pays me to perform a job, okay? While I'm on the job, I only talk about my job. While I'm on the job, I try and say politically correct things because I'm representing an organization. When I'm not at my job and when I'm here on my radio show, I can use my platform to say what I want. It's not going to be what I say at my job, right? But nobody cares what I say on my radio show.
It doesn't
because
matter.
I'm not clocked in at my job. So that's why I asked you, Johnny, how you felt about the situation with Harden demanding trades, doing this, doing that. The NBA to me is unwatchable. I cannot watch at all. I feel bad because I want to watch the NBA. I love basketball. I love playing basketball. I'm in a men's Wednesday night basketball league, and it's fun.
I'd like to see that.
It's fun, bro. I'm literally Ray Allen.
Right.
Yeah, I'm Ray Allen. What I mean by that is
You're retired.
no.
You're retired,
Got
and you're
him.
talking sports now on the
Got
radio instead
him.
of on the court.
Well, listen.
Ayo.
What I mean by that is I shoot threes but don't play defense. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, he shoot threes. Notice
But
he said
it's- but
shoots
it's like
threes.
you
He doesn't
said
make
before,
them.
though.
What's that, Johnny?
No, I was gonna say, like, it's like you guys said before, like, you know, a lot of these basketball players, they soft.
Oh, that's what it comes down to, man.
Plain and simple, they just soft. You know, why can't it be like basketball? You know, back from the '80s and the '90s. You know, get physical, like, you know,
Absolutely.
get into. See, that to me, that's when basketball was really exciting. You know, the 2000s. You know, yeah, they still had that certain physicality, but it was going down. And then now it's just, nah, I can't anymore.
Yeah, now, if you don't have a super team, you're not a contender. If you don't have a big 3 or 4 already on the squad, and they're not buddies with the other superstars that are coming over to your team next year, it's all smoke and mirrors. It makes the league look weak. It makes everybody look weak.
Last question I have for Johnny Butters before we let him go, and I start to rant about hockey. The last question I have for you, Johnny, it's a very important one. Who is the next head coach of the Jets, and who do they draft?
Okay, the head coach. I mean, that's a toss-up. I mean, there's so many people that the Jets are looking into right now. For me, the head coach is hard to say, but then again, you know, now with all the people they interviewed, and then now with Doug Peterson getting fired, don't be surprised if the Jets interview him.
I'd
Doug
be
Peterson.
surprised. I'd be very surprised.
Don't be surprised if that happens.
And
Now,
you're
as for
saying
the
that because he won the
as-
Super Bowl?
I mean, I can see the Jets trying to get the who's that? The offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Bieniemy?
Yeah, Bieniemy. Yeah, I can see them really going after him. But I mean, Bieniemy is going to look at it probably not his fit, not his style, because it's that New York air. Not a lot of people can get adjusted to it.
So where do you think Bieniemy goes? Who do you think signs Bieniemy before you answer the rest of the question?
I don't know. I mean,
Because he's probably the most highly coveted OC for a head coach job. Would you agree?
yeah, I agree. Because right now he's going to be who's that? Him? Who's the other?
Robert Saleh,
Who's that other head?
the DC from San Francisco, has interviewed twice already with the Jets.
Yeah, him, and then the coordinator from was it Carolina?
Ah, that would be. Let me pull up his name.
I'm trying to remember his name, but I mean, right now they've already had multiple interviews already. So, I mean, it all depends on who the Jets feel that they're gonna be contenders with. But Bieniemy, I mean, would be a great fit for the Jets, but I don't see him going to the Jets.
I agree. I think they end up signing a guy like Robert Saleh, who's already been there twice. But they did let him leave. What'd you say?
You better hope so.
I hope so. Listen, it's defensive minded, but don't sleep on him. We've had a lot of defensive minded coaches that we went to that we went to the playoffs with. So, actually won. That's Rex Ryan. But listen, I have faith that JD, Joe Douglas makes the Jets great again. I'm hoping we get a guy like Robert Saleh or pick up the OC. He was just let go yesterday, Brian Schottenheimer from the Seahawks. But
yeah, that's right.
But and he has ties. Like I've said it. If you heard that, if he does go to the Jets, you heard it here first. Because I mentioned that before he was even let go. But you get a guy like that, somebody who's offensive minded or strong defensive mind, and can develop a culture, something to base their teams off, something that attracts other players, strong, gritty players. I think they got something to build on. And who do you think they draft? The Jets.
Okay, they're definitely not going to draft Justin Fields.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I agree.
I don't think they're gonna go with Fields. I think the Jets might trade down. I think they might go O-line on the draft because they're obviously gonna stick with Darnold, so they got to give him some protection. So I'm seeing O-line, and they'll draft down.
Absolutely. I don't see that. I also don't see them taking Smith. I think, first of all, he's too lightweight, even though he's a great receiver. I don't think Justin Fields is the guy to turn an organization around. I think he's a situational player. But if they're gonna stick with Darnold, I agree with you 100%. They need to trade down or go O-line.
I mean, we know what they have to do, but they won't.
Well, I mean, that's what we're saying. So
Yeah,
I don't want to say that
you
let them
gotta-
go get Watson, because then they won't do it.
They won't do any of it. So I don't know why you're trying to will
No,
them.
I'm about to say, ain't that kid from Alabama coming out? That O-lineman?
Jet fan.
Yeah, that monster. What's
Uh,
that guy?
That kid's
What's-
like what, 6'6", 6'7", like 320 pounds.
I mean, dude, he is a mammoth,
You talking about Sewell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Let me
He-
tell you something.
He's coming out.
Rumor has it, he's actually big enough to play tackle and guard at the same time.
That'd be great.
That
We could
dude
use
is
the
a-
we could use the double team help on both
That
sides.
dude is a moose. But listen, Johnny Butters, man, thank you for calling in again. I love when Johnny Butters calls in.
Absolutely. JB's the man.
Although I feel as though today I was asking Johnny Butters some questions that every single time he went to answer me, he said, "Oh man, I stumped you a little bit today, Johnny Butters."
No, you have me thinking. You know, and I got a big head, so that's a lot of thinking I got to do.
Listen, hey man,
I can attest to that.
it's all oh man, but you got a big head too, bro. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's why I can attest to it.
I
Real
got-
recognize real. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta stick up for Johnny Butters, you know.
Oh, you have to. JB's the man.
Johnny, thank you, brother. Listen, anytime you know that, dude, you want to call in next week, bro? Call in next week, bro. We'll talk.
You're always
We'll talk-
welcome, brother.
We'll talk NFL divisional playoffs next week because we're gonna be done with it and we're gonna be in the conference championship. So, you know what? Right before you hang up with me, real quick in 30 seconds, Chiefs or Browns?
Chiefs,
Bills, Ravens,
Bills,
Jaguar. I said Jaguars. My God.
Easy there, Urban Meyer.
Saints, Bucks,
Saints,
Packers, Rams.
Packers.
All right, Johnny. We'll see you next Wednesday, brother.
All
Love
right,
you,
baby.
bud.
Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, guys.
Later, buddy.
Wow, some hot takes by JBM.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
I like it.
By the way, though, I want to just say I brought the heat this week, and I had him stumped on a few things.
You did. Usually
had-
Johnny Brothers is quick to the tongue, but
Well,
man.
normally he's yelling at me. You know, it's nice when Johnny Butters doesn't call to yell at me. You know,
Absolutely.
Normally I give people a lot of reason to call and yell at me, which is fine. But this week I didn't. But you know what starts tonight?
Hockey.
Let's do
Puck
that.
drop, baby.
Hockey, baby. Bro, listen, hockey for all intents and purposes, it's probably your weakest sport, right? You would
Yeah,
say?
but we
Okay.
can have some fun.
Absolutely. So here it is. Tonight,
I ain't never scared.
a slugfest. A slugfest tonight in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, man.
The Penguins against the Flyers.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to give you a little rundown. All
Hit
right.
me.
The Penguins have and still do have a pretty high-powered offense. And anytime you have the players that they have some nice goaltending. They have an opportunity to do some special things. Crosby's got to stay healthy. That's a big deal, right?
Huge.
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 But the Flyers last year, especially, last year, we're in 2021.
Right.
They really came on strong.
The end of the season, yeah.
Made some nice headway, right? So now I ask you, who wins tonight's game? Flyers, Penguins.
I think Philly's scoring unit is strong, young, but I think Pittsburgh's going to take it. I think the Penguins win. I want to say 3-2.
3-2. Wow. With a score even. I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you. I studied all night.
You did?
Absolutely.
Wow. I just feel like that's such fake news. But I really, I
You're
mean,
so full of it.
I mean, they have Evgeny Malkin, right, who's obviously a stud.
Yep.
Sidney Crosby, stud. Gensel, stud. Who else would I look at it on that team that I would just say is a stud on Pittsburgh? Nobody else really strikes me as like a next level. Chris Letang? Yeah, Letang's a stud. I'd put Chris Letang there. That's it, though. I wouldn't say anybody else is so much of a game changer you have to worry about him. But Crosby's an absolute game changer.
Yes, sir.
Crosby's a game changer. So then I asked you, we going in tomorrow night. Rangers, Islanders.
Rangers, Islanders. I love it.
Bro.
Battle of New York.
Big things happening. Here's the problem, though. You know what I just realized?
And it's at the Rangers.
I didn't see. I'm looking right now. I didn't see somebody on the active roster.
Who's that?
Ah, here he is. Panarin. Never mind. He's there. Okay. Wow. Panarin, Lafreniere, Chris
yes.
Kreider, Zibanejad. Wow. This is a nice team, bro. This is a nice team, bro.
Strong unit.
Brandon Lemieux, Capo Caco, Keandre Miller, recent pick, high pick, first-round pick last year. This is a good team, dude. I'm really excited about this Rangers team. I'm very excited. This is minus the goaltending, which we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this is a team that we could really be proud of as Rangers fans.
Absolutely.
Rangers win the cup.
Wow.
I'm talking right.
Way too early predictions.
I'm talking out of my
on
butt.
Wild Wednesday.
I'm talking out of my butt, but the Rangers win the cup.
Wow.
Let's go Rangers, bro. This year.
Hold on. Now you're gonna make me pull up the lines for them.
Do you know what this year is going to give us? Can I tell you what this
COVID-19? A new strand?
COVID-20. This year's going to give us
COVID-21.
This year's going to give us Rangers Stanley Cup champions, Mets World Series champions.
Give it to me. I'll take it. If you stopped right there, I'll be happy.
Well, I'm stopping right there because I don't like any other team.
Oh, tell me about it.
Because I'm an Orlando Magic fan and a Cowboys fan, and neither of them are going anywhere. So I'm stopping right there. The Mets are winning the World Series, and the Rangers are winning the Stanley Cup. Doesn't it feel good to be able to say crazy things like that? You wouldn't know, but I'm saying.
I wouldn't know because I can only attest to half of that. I'll be honest with you. Because, I mean, my Jets and my Knicks are never in any kind of playoff run ever. For
Literally ever.
Somebody's got to make the Jets great again.
How are you a Jets fan? No, it's
for punishment.
I know, no, but I really want to ask you this question. I want a serious answer.
All right, so you want the story?
Bro,
you want the background story?
I want the background story because how does one even become? How does one even become?
So I used to love football when I was little, but my parents would never let me play until I got into high school.
Okay.
So now, the reason I started watching football because I didn't understand it until I was probably like 11 or 12 years old, working at my dad's mechanic shop, helping him, clean up stuff, make coffee, chipping the oil and grease on the floors, and a couple truckers came in. That my father was a diesel mechanic. And these guys always had quirky things that they would give me for, lubing up their truck and changing the oil or doing little baby stuff for my dad so he could save time doing bigger jobs. And a couple of these guys were my dad's good friends from his old job, and some of them had, like, old VHS tapes of, like, the Holy Roller Game, the Immaculate Reception, and one of them had Ken Stabler and the Raiders and, like, a whole stack of them. So he was like, oh, you like those? Why don't you take them? So I originally started watching football, watching the Raiders. And I would watch these games, and I would watch them play against the Steel Curtain. I would watch them play against these monster games. I'm like, wow, these are amazing games. This is something to watch. So I'd watch those tapes over and over again. And then one day, I get in the car business. I'm out of high school. And my buddy's got a season tickets to the Jets. And I got to tell you, when I went to that first game, it was a good time. Tailgating, having a blast outside in the parking lot. I had a great time at a home team game for the first time, aside from a Mets game. And I really partied outside. We had a real good time. There was music. And I saw how the crowd was. When I got into the stadium, and the first thing I heard was, Jets, and it rumbled in my chest. And they actually won that game against the Dolphins. I was like, wow, how are more people not talking about this team? How is this team not popular? Well, come the years beyond, I learned why they're not so popular.
Yep.
But the heart and soul of the Jets is that stadium. The people in the fans in that in those seats, the people in that stadium, the heart and soul that they put in, regardless if the team is doing well or not, it's just the kind of heart I have.
It's crazy to hear you say. First of all, it's a great story.
So and ever since then, I mean, me and him, when he my friend Jerry, shout out to Jerry Solomon, all right. So Jerry would give me like half the tickets, and you pay me whenever you can, kid. Don't worry. Me and my brother's season ticket holder. Then after that, I started buying the tickets from him, where I became pretty much a season ticket holder through him myself. And he would pay his PSL, and when he couldn't go to a game, I would buy the other half of the tickets, and we'd split them every year. Ever since then, I bleed green, baby.
So that's a touching story. I could see why. I definitely could see why. But I ask you, though, when you say that stadium, it's not even your stadium.
Didn't matter. It was our stadium that moment.
It's awkward.
I didn't see anything blue out there.
No?
And now it's Jet Life Stadium, baby.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's not Jet Life Stadium right now.
It's MetLife Stadium.
Definitely not Jet Life.
But I call it Jet Life Stadium.
But that's dumb.
It doesn't say Giants Stadium on it.
No, but it should.
Why?
Because it's the only relevant team that play in there.
What? You're calling the Giants relevant?
Much more than the Jets. Much.
Yeah. Oh, about as
By
much
a
as the Cowboys are?
landslide.
About
Bro,
as much as
by
the
a
Cowboys are? Oh, come
landslide.
on, man.
A landslide.
Come on. They're horrible. They make horrible
Come
picks.
on, dude.
And they're out there. And the Giants, Joe Judge, you got Joe Judge out there complaining to other teams that tanked in that last game, that ruined their chances. You know what? Win more games.
The
And
Giants
then you can
have-
complain to other people.
The Giants
Win
have
more
an
games.
identity. I mean, you can yell as loud as you want.
Yeah,
Win
because
more
they're the big-
games,
because
but
they're the big brother?
You,
They're the big brother of the Jets.
if they're the big brother, they're more relevant. I'm the big brother in my family. I'm more relevant.
That's smoke. I don't believe it.
Ask my mom.
I'm calling her right after the show.
Ask my grandmother. She's watching.
Oh, 100%. She's on my side.
I'm just letting you know.
Mm-hmm. You know, Ziva's on my side.
No, my grandmother.
100%. She always says hi to Daniel.
She says hi to Daniel because she's being respectful. That's what my
No.
grandmother
Yeah,
does.
so you're saying she respects me more than she respects you.
But
There you go.
I'm the oldest.
There it is,
I
folks.
am much more
Hottest
relevant.
take of the day.
That's why the Giants are more relevant.
No.
I'm sorry.
And you're a Cowboys fan talking about the Giants. Get out of here. That's sacrilegious.
First of all,
Your mic should be burned.
my team in general, my team has much more history and prestige than Jets and Giants put together.
Listen, speaking of history, R.I.P. to Tommy Lasorda, one of the greatest baseball
Good
coaches
call.
to ever do it. 100%. Tommy. And I got to tell you, I remember this guy. I love this guy, the way he coached, the way he managed his teams, the kind of skipper he was. And one of the toughest to ever fight the Philly Fanatic and take him out. He even stole his quad that day. Awesome. Took him down, took him out, went in there. R.I.P. L.A. Dodgers.
Thank God Tommy Lasorda didn't do that sort of thing now. It'd be viewed as a hate crime.
Oh, 100%.
PETA would be coming out after him saying he attacked fake animals.
PETA.
My God.
He
thank
pretended to injure an animal.
God. Thank God.
No animals or fanatics were hurt during the recording of this game.
Tommy Lasorda did it just in time.
Absolutely.
Good for you, Tommy. Man, rest
Yeah.
in peace, brother. Nah, he would listen. Legendary coach. You know,
100%.
when you think Dodgers, you think Kirk Gibson, you think Tommy Lasorda. There's a few things that you think of when you think of
Absolutely.
Dodgers, right?
Yeah, man.
And you think of that legendary Kirk Gibson coming out, coming out of the dugout to hit that home run and virtually limping around the bases. And And watching the replay of him swinging and hitting that home run, it's so weird because it looks like it's just going to be like a bloop single. Like it just does not look like it's a home run. And just Tommy Lasorda's reaction to things, he's legendary there. So rest in peace, Tommy Lasorda, for sure. Danny, so much on the docket today, man.
Oh man, absolutely. And we didn't get through most of it.
No, but listen, no, I briefly asked Johnny Butters. I asked him who the reason for the Steelers' downfall was, and he said Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, he put it on the head coach.
I am a very big Tomlin fan. Very.
Me too. 100%.
I said Big Ben. Who did you say?
I think it lands on the receiving core.
On the receiving core.
But it has to be. I just don't think it's just Ben. I think it's more the receiving core. But I think when you look at it, I mean, even say he underthrows it. How do you know that that's not where the ball was supposed to land? That the receiver ran the wrong route. You know what I mean? Like you talk about a couple plays where he underthrows it or overthrows it. The guy's throwing 70% of the time, and now they're playing from behind the last 5 or 6 games. You can't put that solely on the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, defenses are letting. What Johnny Butter say? It was 35-10 in the first quarter or first half, the end of the first half?
Something like that.
Dude, you're going to tell me that that's not a team effort, losing like that, letting the other team score, and then not catching up against a single-dimension team on both sides of the ball? Dude, no way. No way. That's a team effort in that loss.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for that the matchups that we just talked about. Chiefs, Bills. Was that Bills Ravens, right? Chiefs and Chiefs the Browns, and Aaron Rodgers versus that number 1 defense in the Los Angeles Rams. Because I don't really think that that's like the rest of them. You can compare the quarterbacks and say, all right, so some of them have something to stand for. Goff has done his thing. He's been out there a little bit over mediocre, but you know what? It's that defense. To see Aaron Rodgers versus that LA Rams defense and how they handle and attack Aaron Donald, monster. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be a fun weekend.
Oh, it's going to be exciting.
But you know, I don't think I've ever anticipated a bigger off season in the NFL in a while.
Yeah.
So many storylines, bro.
Absolutely.
Watson, head coaching carousel with major implications on QBs there.
Absolutely.
Darnold, Watson, first overall pick with the Jaguars, potential Trevor Lawrence. Major moves around the NFL.
Huge.
And
Huge.
It really is going to be a special offseason, I think.
100%.
What I'm curious about is, really is how the draft will affect free agency.
Wow.
I'm very curious to see how not having fans in the stands will affect what veterans get signed.
Absolutely.
If they don't get signed because they want too much money, or if there's a lot of one-year deals, you know?
I think there's going to be a lot of show me deals, especially the way COVID's been rampant. I mean, they're even finding it in finding out that they're going to reschedule the NBA bubbles and stuff like that again. NFL's got to come up with a better plan for next year to handle all these issues and scheduling issues. But one thing I see positive, there is some positive light. The MLB is looking to keep fans, to get fans in the stands for 2021.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Maybe we can get to some Mets games.
MLB just came out and said they will not require negative COVID tests for fans.
That's right. They're going to let fans in, and it's not going to be a prerequisite to be able to have to buy a ticket and have the vaccine. They're going to social distance everybody. Everybody's going to wear a mask or whatever.
Good for MLB.
I'm happy about that. You got to bring some sports has to bring some positivity to this doldrum of a year that we've had in this country.
Miserable.
Miserable.
I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm looking forward to 2021 sports. I am.
Yeah, man.
I am. I'm looking forward to a big close to the NFL. I want a restart of the NFL season with some normalcy there. right?
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to baseball starting up, man. I can't wait for the Mets to get on the field, dude.
Oh,
can't
I'm
wait.
excited. I'm excited for that. I can't even tell you. I have no words for how excited I am to get out to a Mets game, possibly be a fan out there and see the game again, up close and personal. I love it.
First thing
I can't wait.
First thing we got to do is go to a Mets game.
100%. Opening day?
I would, if they let fans in, we're in.
Do it.
I would love nothing more than to go there. And by the way, when we go, we could stream live from our phones. We can go right on here.
Absolutely.
And
We
do
have
a-
to.
do a show from City Field.
Listen, if we're going to do a show from Citi Field, we got to take our fans with us, right?
Amazing.
Even you Yankee fans are available for us. Absolutely, man.
Look at Big Pat Langston, always talking trash. He's
Oh,
a
Big
Bra-
Pat,
he's
that's
a
what he
Braves
does.
Fan. Oh, why are you excited? Just going to lose out to the Braves again. We'll see, Pat.
All right, we'll see, brother.
We'll see. The culture's changing
Oh, this
over there
is-
at City Field.
It's
You'll
a different
see.
animal now, Pat.
You'll see. And by the way, you guys ruined your chance to try and sneak in a World Series title because last year on a shortened season,
Oh, you had a shot.
You
So
had a shot.
dominant. 13, 14 runs a game, 4 games in a row, and then you went to bed.
yep. So we'll see, brother. But
Yeah, I got big respect for the Braves,
Me too.
for the Braves organization. But you know what? I don't think if they have that roster and can't compete in the postseason, I mean, what's the good of having the roster? You're still a few pieces away.
yeah, which is crazy because that roster is loaded.
It is. But they got to be
Albies-
consistent and
Albies, Freeman, Acuna.
yeah, Acuna's a star. Rock solid.
Freeman's a star too.
Yeah, man.
Ozzy Albies is a star also. Don't sleep on that lineup.
Now listen, if they can keep it all together for a long period of time, especially towards the end of the season, and go into the postseason hot, that's different. But they just started to get hot a little bit before the postseason and then fizzled out.
I
Oh,
want
and
to. I want to actually know what I want to do.
what's up?
I want to go to the Braves roster right now.
Yeah, pull it up
I'm going to pull it up right now. Let's see.
before we segue into the rest of the Braves roster. Just shout out. We've been talking all that smack about the Jets, and even though I'm a Jets fan, I love the guys. I just want to shout out Joe Namath. Yesterday was the anniversary of the guarantee game.
Oh God. Here we go.
Joe Douglas, I ask you for one thing, brother. Make the Jets great again. All right, and I'm done.
Oh God.
Listen, John, you got to put it out in the atmosphere, man.
Travis Darnell, of course, ex-Met, who's now a stud for the Braves.
Of course.
Freddie Freeman, MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy Albies. Austin Riley is who I was thinking of.
Oh,
He's a big bopper. Dansby Swanson at shortstop, coming out of Vanderbilt. Don't sleep on my knowledge.
on your typing.
No. I vividly remember it because I never really paid attention to the
Big
MLB
Vanderbilt fan?
I never really paid attention to college baseball. I never really paid attention to MLB draft, right?
Right.
Except for when you hear players like real generational players. What's his name? Oh my God,
Yeah, I heard of him.
the pitcher for the Nationals coming out of college, Steven Strasburg.
All right,
So,
Strasburg.
Yeah, so Steven Strasburg is supposed to be obviously a next like Roger Clemens. So obviously I knew about him coming out and signing
Lot
a
of buzz.
signing bonus, and
Lot of buzz.
Bryce Harper as well.
Yeah, Bryce was a bright star. Everybody saw.
So, I was like, oh, and Dansby Swanson was also one. So I watched a few Vanderbilt games and remembered seeing him like real gritty and being the hero of that team.
Yeah, stand up.
And thinking to myself, is he really going to translate well? Because, listen, shortstops are not. They're defensively a coveted position, but you don't get a lot of offense. That's why a guy like Lindor is so coveted.
Oh, 100%.
So,
That bat is precious at that position.
I mean, listen, Florida, Pat. Florida. So, I just I don't know, man. I feel like the Braves have some nice young talent there, right? So excited for them. I'm excited for the division. I like good divisions. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see the NFC East, right? We like in football. We want to see the Mets division. We want to see that division with the Braves and them be awesome. That's what we want to see. So I definitely I'm all in on the NL East being beast mode, and then a champion coming out of the NL East.
Absolutely.
As long as the champion's the Mets.
That's right. It's gonna be blue and orange, baby.
So before we leave here, you ready for it?
Hit me.
I'm gonna blitz you.
All right.
DJ LeMahieu, Met or Yankee?
Met.
George Springer, Red Sox or Met?
Bo Sox.
Andrew Benintendi, does he get traded?
I think he does get traded, and he may go to a team like what's the team I mentioned? Blue Jays.
Chris Bryant, does he get traded?
I think Chris Bryant gets traded, 100%.
Arenado, does he get traded?
I think they keep Arenado. I think they find a way to keep him.
The Rockies.
Yep.
It's disappointing.
Oh, listen, I'd love for him to come to the Mets, but I think we got a better shot at LeMahieu. The way he's dismayed, the way he's looking for leverage over his team, he may come to the Mets to try to get a counter offer and then get an offer he wasn't expecting and accept it.
Where does Trevor Bauer end up?
I'm not sure. You stumped me on that one. Because I think he's trolled himself out of leverage. I think he's trolled every team that he had an opportunity to go to, and now he's going to have to settle for less money somewhere else.
He's out, right?
Think so?
I hope the Mets don't sign him.
I hope not.
Dan.
Johnny, man.
We're done, bro.
Been a great show, bro.
It has been a phenomenal show.
As usual. Another one in the books.
2 hours down. A lot of great content today, man. We were
phenomenal.
We went through all 4 sports. We talked about all the major. We dropped some crazy breaking news with the Harden trade.
Breaking news, hot takes.
I went on my rant.
John, I went on a half a rant.
You did.
You know, John, I think you and I are the hottest sports radio talk show on the biz.
I think I know that we are. Love you, bro. Guys and girls,
ladies and gents,
you're gonna see us again. Thankfully enough, in 6 days, 22 hours. You're listening here on HamiltonRadio.net. The greatest sports talk show out there. Prove me wrong.
Dynamic duo in the house.
My Sports Radio with John Intel and Daniel Mercado. Guys and girls, keep us going bigger and better, onward and upward. Let's keep killing these other podcasts out there. Let's shut them down. We'll catch you later.
Peace.
You're rocking with the newest radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. It's a dig. It is the all-time home run list.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. He's got something. 50. He's got it. 40. He's got it. 20. 10. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown, Fight. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
Sports Radio. It's the greatest sports talk show host in the business. The dynamic duo. Your host, John Intel and Daniel Mercado.